जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय 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 राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji. Pranam Swamiji.
Today's topic is inward journey. Inward journey is a must. What is inward journey? This can also vary from person to person. What we have understood from Papa's writing, inward journey is an attempt to know the source. The source of all sources. All our outer disciplines like chanting, bhajan, satsang, swadhyay, selfless seva, values, human values, personal values, social values, all these things should help us to take to inward journey. If we are merely satisfied with these outer, no doubt they give us some joy, but it is not everlasting. That is why we have been asked to go inward. The thought ruled by the sense objects, or we are enslaved by the sense objects, and because of that the thought goes out always, even under the banner of spiritual discipline. With the result, we don't get clarity on the word God, because it is the very subject. It is not an object. For anything that is other than us, we have to definitely rely on external factors. But that which is the very subject, none of these external factors will help us. So what do? So first of all, we should know that we should evolve a methodology by which the outgoing tendency of the mind is slowly trained, tutored, tamed, disciplined to turn inward, to the source. Now when we are talking, it is a thought expressed through words. If we are carried away by that, we hardly recognize the power behind the thought and the words. We are now trying to go to the very source from where the thought emanates and expresses itself in the form of words. Pujya Swami Satchidananda used to say, we should try to go back to our home, real home. Papa in all his satsang keeps on hammering this truth, that we should go inward, inward, inward. Another word for inward journey is called contemplation, manana. Anything, now yesterday in our satsang, Papa made us to dwell on 4. Name is God. Name is powerful. The moment we utter the name, God should reveal himself. And the 4th one is, he is waiting inside for our call. Just think about it. If we have to understand name is God, normally a name is given to an object. Any object carries a label, which is called the name. So if it is not an object, how can we give the name? We have not been able to identify that entity which we call God. And then how can we say we can give a name? So here, unless we do the inward journey, we will not get the clarity. We will be simply repeating that word. By telling that name is God, Papa wants every one of us to go inward. Elsewhere he says, before we start our spiritual journey, we should have the right conception of God. For that he has given us some clues with which we can go inward. He is a mysterious power. Nameless, formless, birthless, deathless. So any attempt to go to the source of our being is called inward journey. But right from the beginning, as our mind is trained to go outward, we have to use the outward tools to go inward. Without these tools also one can go. We have seen in the case of Mahatma, like Ramana Maharshi. We have never seen him chanting any name. We have never seen him going through any pilgrimage. We have never heard that he met anybody and who gave instructions. No. Right from day one, he was established. Good. That is good. That's why in Tamil, somebody asks, he will say, Chumma. Keep quiet. Keep the mind quiet. That's what. Chumma means keep the mind quiet. Neer kurka varade. That means the mind, let not the mind come in between. But this is not possible for everybody. We have been right from young age, right the moment after we started knowing ourselves as an individual, everything has been outward. Our whole life lives on the outward activity, outward objects, outward situations. So one fine morning to go inward means, what is the tool? We are not habituated to anything else. So we make use of whatever tool that we have been employing to go out. First thing is name. So here Papa says, if we want to know that name is God, we use the same name to know that. Because that is the only technique we know. So he has prescribed 3 types of chanting, and the final one is mental chanting. When we start doing mental chanting, after sufficiently getting grounded in it, meaning we start with vocal chanting, we try to attune ourselves with the sound. In that process, all our dissimilar thoughts get arrested, as it were. Not that we are doing it. Proportionate to the commitment or in earnestness we have, we will find the mind. Thought is not going anywhere else excepting on the sound of the name. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Right from Om up to Ram, the mind does not go anywhere. But when we stop and start, again the mind goes out. So that is why he wanted us, when we are chanting vocally, one method is, we try to witness our own chanting. He has prescribed 4 methods to control the mind. One is to concentrate on the form. Suppose we are unable to concentrate on the nameless, formless aspects. Bring any form of our Ishtadevata or Guru. And then, if that is not possible, concentrate on the sound. That is not possible. Wherever the mind goes, identify that it is also God's. That is also not possible. Then he said, just witness the mind. You know that you are now sitting. You know that you are looking. You know that you are hearing. You know that you are thinking. What is that knowing principle? We don't have to answer. We cannot answer. But the question will give. Questioning is an outer factor. With that outer factor, we try to go within. And we ultimately reach the silence there. We have no other method, known method. So when again the mind goes, again we can close the eyes. One method, he has suggested is, you chant mentally. When once you chant mentally, when we have reached that stage, where the mind does not go out, it is hearing its own chanting. then what happens? Suppose still the mind goes out. Immediately, he says an attitude of self-surrender. Please switch off your mute. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Otherwise, you will not be able to follow. This is highly a subjective subject.
Mr. Ashok,
This is highly a subjective subject. So unless and until we totally concentrate upon the theme, it will go out. The very purpose of this session is to make an in-depth study of the inward journey. Achha, now, so when we chant Ram Nam silently, sound will not come, lip and tongue will not move, but we will chant, we will hear. It is the toughest because it is the subtlest. After trial and error, with perseverance and patience, suppose we keep on doing it, we will be able to get steadied in it. When that, suppose again the mind refuses, Papa says an attitude of self-surrender. We pray to him. You have prompted me to know about you, and now you are making the mind to go out. Please. Because that is not a mere word. It should come from the bottom of the heart. And if that comes, we have been assured that the mind does not go elsewhere. The thought does not go elsewhere, but it gets wholly concentrated on the sound of the name. When that happens, without any struggle, we become conscious of the chanting. As soon as we become conscious of the chanting stops. Immediately it might be for a trice. Again another thought may arise. Again we take to chanting. Again it rests. There is a gap between ending of a Ram Nam and starting of another Ram Nam. Here our masters ask us to widen that. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Mentally, we stop. Another thought comes, immediately we start. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. There is a gap between two Ram. Now we are praying to widen the gap. Meaning what? Those are all words, It is purely a matter of a state of experience where silence. It is not negation of anything. It is an experience of fullness. Awareness absolute. Intelligence absolute. Silence absolute. We may not be able to sustain it for a longer period because the mind is not used to it. Again we try. One more clue of what gives us is, we need not limit to Ram Nam only. Nothing will be casual for us. Nothing will be accepted at this superficial level, surface level. So that the mind is tutored When we see a seed, when we see a tree, we try to see the seed behind it, the cause and effect. Then we start thinking where from the first seed comes. No, just think about it. Any object that comes before us, it need not be restricted to Ram Nam only. We try through Ram Nam, simultaneously whenever it is possible for us, whatever objects we come across. Now, for example, we are sitting before the laptop. We are just thinking, when there was no laptop in the world, how the concept came in somebody's mind, and how, when this gadget was innovated, how many types of programs, software, hardware, software, see, and the original. In this process you will find the mind is not going outside the theme. When we take sambar, when we take an idli or a chapati, remember the first person who conceived a chapati when there was no chapati. Think. So in this way, when we try to train our mind to do the manana on anything and everything that we are coming across, and when we sit with Ram Nam and to concentrate on the source, it will become easier. Suppose rest of the time we don't concentrate, we accept at the surface level, it will be difficult. So it is a comprehensive effort, no? Not a limited, not a compartmentalized activity. Only through particular, when we go to ashram, when we go to the puja room, when we sit for the Ram Nam, it is a tough job. Not that it will not have its effect, but it's the toughest job. Mind is running riot, no? Especially that day's incident will have its own. Any incident, any situation, any object, because we all have likes and dislikes, we all have rights and wrongs, we all have prejudices, we all have preferences, priorities. That will overweigh our thoughts. So there should be a constant effort on our part to go to the source of everything. This should not be forgotten. This is a very, very, very important point. Papa says, try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world life. World life. Not merely it is centered on the individual. To know who you are in reality is the real quest. To arrive at this truth, you have to, by a systematized process of thought and discipline, transcend all human limitations set by the body, mind, intellect, and then embarking on the realm of the spirit, that's called inward journey. Realize your immortal, changeless, blissful nature. This constitutes spirituality. Origin of everything. So suppose when I see a cap, when I have put my shirt, when I go to the bathroom to see a soap, when I see a bucket, when I see a tap, when I see a mug, all these things can be instrumental in connecting me to the source. So we will not be satisfied at the surface level observation, surface level indulgence, surface level satisfaction. It will come and go. The other day we were sharing Pujya Swamiji's words, you remember? When I take a pen, oh, you are also. When I take a paper, he says, going to the root, where from the paper has come. Concept of a paper God gave through His selected instrument. He provided the wherewithal, the raw material from outside nature. And society helped. So many people might have helped him. And then what happened? Ultimately, the concept became a reality and it is useful for everybody. So any object, we should go to the source of our sources. When Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bijam Mam Sarva Bhutanam, 2-3 times he talks about Bijam. Bijam means origin, seed. I am the eternal seed of everything. We can go up to the seed level, beyond the seed level. Because from the seed it sprouts seedling, and from the seedling it comes to a plant, then from the plant it goes to a tree. We start with seed only, We hardly think about how the seed has come. Suddenly we look at the tree, it flowers. The fruition takes place, it has got a seed. We know academically that the self-propagation goes on. Not that we have to do anything. One seed propagates itself. One small tiny little tomato seed, when you sow a tiny little seed of a chili, how it grows in 2 months' time, 3 months' time, and how it flowers, and so many chilies, so many tomatoes, and in each tomato, in each chili, there are hundreds of seeds, Self-propagation. We start thinking now, how does the original seed come? We may not get the answer. We may not get the answer intellectually. Intellect cannot enter that realm. But this process helps us to go inward to the origin. That's what Papa said, The basic purpose is try to enter into the mysterious origin of your and the world's life. Initially, to concentrate upon me, it may be difficult. But because my mind is always going out, so all the objects that have been paraded before me, I try to go to the source. When I slowly train my mind to go to the source of everything, it automatically becomes an inward journey. It automatically gives us a contemplative mood. It automatically bestows us with concentration. It automatically arrests all dissimilar thoughts. These are all the ways by which inward journey can be made a reality. And beyond that, nobody will be able to say. Beyond that, one has to travel. The thought we have to shed, The only vehicle we have, the only medium we have is the thought. With the thought, we try to enter into the cause of that thought. That is why it is highly subjective. Any slight thought, it can take us. Like the snake and ladder theory. Again we are out. We have to start from the beginning. So always be contemplative. We don't say that you should become silent always. But never allow anything to go just like that. Nothing should be casual. Nobody need know about it. We need not make a big fuss about it. It should go silently within us. I bite a chili. What is the taste it gives? I bite a sugar cane. Immediately I start thinking, how does the sweetness how does it come in the sugar cane? How does the spiciness come in the chili? Whether we get an answer or not, we are putting ourselves on an inward process. Inward journey alone can go to the source. Our real hope. Puja Swamiji said human birth is the gateway for liberation. This faculty, this capacity has not been given to any other species except human beings. To become contemplative, to go to the source, to know the origin. That is why spiritual journey is always a comma, never a full stop. Varieties are there. One facet. Another facet. We say the name, normally name is attached to an object. But we also know that when the word compassion, when it is uttered, it has no object. But we can understand. When we say the word love, when we say the word truth, when we say the word selflessness, when we use the word sacrifice, think, Though it has no form, still we can understand. Does it not lead that all these things stand for godliness? So if we can understand compassion, we are understanding God. If we are understanding absence of otherness, we are understanding God. If we are understanding sacrifice, we are understanding God. Because He is inherent in us, and these are all the attributes by which He expresses Himself outside. Through an object He makes us to know this. But how do we understand? When somebody says he is compassionate, unless I know something about compassion, how can I align myself with him? Align with that feeling. So suddenly we find, compassion. Puja Swamiji used to say in a simple word, pure love only enables you to see love in others. If says he is loving, the alignment has taken place. The love in me and the love in him has aligned. Wherever there is no alignment, we don't make use of his presence. We say today's satsang was good. If you say it is good, if the alignment has taken place, you will say it is good. Otherwise it is not. Think about all this. All values, they don't have any form. Affection. Do they have any form? We understand it through a form, that's all. But affection as such, no. This is not restricted to the positive only. It is there in the so-called labeled negative also. Cruelty, selfishness. Just nothing. Everything is in creation. How do we know that it is selfishness? That there is in me the selfishness. When I have transcended selfishness, I will not be able to see the selfishness in others. The so-called labeled negativity will not be felt as a negativity because there is no alignment with that. I have transcended that. Looking from the ground, you see so many things that are not okay for you. You are not comfortable. But from a house top, from a mountain top, everything is beautiful. From the aircraft, it is first class. So when we transcend, from the lower to the higher, higher to the highest, we don't see the so-called negativity. This will all come only when we go inward. And we don't have any biased attitude towards anything, the so-called labeled negative or positive. I did not ask for any negative things. He gave me so many things which somebody names it as negative. And then he makes me to realize that you have to, from the individual angle, it is negative. So you should transcend. Otherwise you will not be able to go deep within. If you are interested to go to the source of your thing, these are all hidden. All these things come only from inward journey. Two facets we have discussed. There is one more facet. Communing with Him. All these things we need not do. We know that He is there. He is there as a life force, now and here. So we try to make use of the outer tools to bridge the gap, to link with Him. We talk in our own language, the language which is an outside gift. We close our eyes, we try to have a dialogue with Him. We make use of the tool called the language. Through the thought, we try to commune with Him. If we are in a position to commune with Him as much time as possible, probably for inward journey nothing else is needed. Because we will be consulting Him often. Initially it will be off and on consultation. Then later on it becomes, 75% consultation, 80% consultation, 90% consultation, and we have been told by our master, Param Pujya Papa, that once you have attuned yourself totally to Him, you were done. Sense of individuality will recede to its original place. And all these things come only when the sense of individuality is there. So the final nail to be hammered is the communion. They have placed us so many varieties. But inward journey is a must. Antarika yatra. Ulnoki payanam. So this is a must. Otherwise, at the surface level, things will be going on. You will be having some emotional level, sentimental level satisfaction. We are not condemning it, we are not belittling it. It has got its own advantage, it has got its own relevance, but it will not be everlasting. That is the only. When we are in the program, we enjoy. We hear about that program, we enjoy. When somebody explains about that program, we enjoy. But after that, it doesn't stick to us. but through inward journey. Because it is purely an inner experience. Nothing outward. And with that background, we look at the objects. With that background, we deal with men and matters. With that background, we react or respond to the outer challenges. There will be a tremendous change. It is not viewed from the individual level. It is viewed from a higher level. Probably we would not have reached the highest level, but little higher than the individual level. In order to enable us to understand this, in the 12th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, last 8 slokas, whatever is, when the Lord says, "He is my dearest devotee," you try to list the quality. Adveshta sarvabhutana maitra karuna evada. Does it have any form for that word? No. But through that form only it conveys the meaning. So we are not negating the form, but through the form we are trying to see, we are trying to feel, we are trying to experience that nameless, formless reality. These are all the thoughts Papa has given. And with these we try, all of us are in the sadhana. But we have been assured by Papa. Today I cannot show you that it is difficult. It is difficult. It should be played, then only it can be known. The words of Papa and Swami Shivananda Maharaj about silence. Shivananda Maharaj builds up the outgoing tendency of the mind to slowly make introvert. Tomorrow in our 3:30, 4:30 satsang, we will try to read it out. In an online session, it is because distraction will be there. It should be 100% single point. But still, we will try to read it out. Not that we have to follow that only. That will give us some clues. How the Mahatma built up the pathway and finally leaves, only up to a certain stage the thought, the clues, advice, everything can take us. And beyond that level, nobody can explain. Nobody is there to explain. So we will try tomorrow. This is highly a subjective subject. We have to keep on pondering. So any method, either having a constant dialogue, developing a constant dialogue with him. Many Bhaktottamas, they did not follow any rigorous rules. Simple rules. They talk to him. For anything and everything they will consult. Vinobaji in his book has mentioned, Namdev, whenever any proposal comes, he will go to Vital, his Ishtadevata. He will ask. To others it may be an idol. To him it is a living reality. Somebody suggested that we should go on tour or something like that. He said, wait. He went there, consulted. That means 24 hours, throughout the waking hours, there is a close communion. In that case, nothing else is needed. Simple faith is enough. If that is not possible, every object we try to go to the source. We try to make use of all the tools that is available to know and plumb deep. The scientist, what does he do? He makes research. When he sees water, he did not stop. He analyzed and then came to know that it is H2O. So there's probing nature, inquiring nature, contemplative nature, nothing at the surface level, nothing at the superficial level. But there everything is outward objects. Here everything is inward reality. These are some of the thoughts Papa gave us to share with you all. May all of us try our level best to pray to Him from the bottom of the heart, to enable us and empower us to take the inward journey effectively, and finally to establish the presence. Inward journey, there is a destination. What is the destination? Feeling His presence. Until such time we have to go on. We may get a glimpse, we may peek, we may come back. Again our vasanas are there, outward pulling becomes strong, but by His grace He has given us a taste. And then we try to get more and more steadfast in that. And we have been assured by all Mahatmas that He will open the door. So let us all try to do that. There is nothing to talk about inward journey. Taking the inward journey is the method. That is why you will find in all Mahatmas, they finally, whatever we have talked, we forget about it. Somebody used to, in a flowery language, they say, learning to unlearn. First we have to learn, then we keep on unlearning. Papa, a little more blunt, he said, you have to shed all make-believe forms, customs, traditions, and go in spiritual, the nakedness of your soul. Everything is an add-on. So we have to remove one by one. Which is what is called unlearning. These are they will be some tools. If you treat it and store it in our memory, we will be able to reproduce it. We should take the key and try to effectively make this. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram.